6 months pregnant, I discovered my husband Wyatt was cheating, and personally escorted him to his downfall. The evidence was the WhatsApp that lit up on the phone he'd left on the nightstand while he showered. Wyatt, the files you sent me last time were gold. My brother can't stop praising you. Sender, Chloe. My blood flash froze at those 2 syllables. Before we continue, subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening. 2 in the morning and his side of the mattress was empty. Low laughter drifted in from the living room, threaded through Wyatt's whispered call. I stared at the ceiling, the dark repeating those same words like a broken projector. Wyatt, the files you sent me last time were gold. My brother can't stop praising you. Files. What files? I'm active duty military. So is Wyatt. We live on Fort Bragg, a top-tier U.S. Army installation. He's a major in the R&D division, running a classified cutting-edge program. I serve in special forces. Training kicked my gut into knots. I sat up without a sound. The baby inside me fluttered, sensing the tension, and nudged my ribs. I stroked the swell of my belly, inhaled, forced myself calm. No panic. Right now I have zero proof. Rattling the cage would be idiocy. I threw off the quilt. The instant my bare feet hit the cold floor, the conversation out front cut off. Footsteps approached. I flopped back, eyes shut, breath leveled. The door edged open. Wyatt's shadow stretched, long and thin, across the wall. He lingered, then bent to brush my forehead. A foreign perfume crawled into my nose. Nothing in my vanity. Sweet, cloying, candy-coated poison. My stomach spasmed. Bile scorched my throat. Hold it. I ordered myself. Not yet. He settled beside me and slipped into steady breathing, the day's fatigue knocking him out cold. I never closed my eyes. At dawn I studied his sleeping face, the man I'd loved 5 years, sworn forever to, and felt only an icy wasteland inside. This wasn't a garden variety affair. This smelled like treason. Next morning I cooked his breakfast like always. Fried egg, milk, whole wheat toast. He wrapped his arms around me from behind, chin on my shoulder, voice husky with sleep. Thanks, babe, you're the best. My spine went rigid, knuckles blanched around the spatula. Don't touch me. I swallowed the urge to shrug him off and slid the egg onto his plate. Eat up or you'll be late. At the table I asked casually, you've been burning midnight oil again. Who were you talking to at 2? Wyatt's gulp of milk faltered. He grinned fast. Endless crunch time. Meetings every night. Drives me nuts. When he lies, the corner of his left eye twitches, a micro tremor I've cataloged for 5 years. My heart sank. That tough. Huh? I forked a fried egg into his bowl. Syrup sweet. What kind of monster project can stump the genius major? Pride flickered, but he sighed. Dry data and blueprints, you'd be bored to tears. He wiped his mouth, pushed back. Gotta run. Rest up. Stop overthinking. He grabbed his jacket, stooped to tie his boots. Watching the back I once trusted, I felt a fog roll in. Wyatt, I called softly. He glanced over. I smiled. Sunlight on my face. Warm. I hoped. Stay safe. He blinked. Smiled back. Yes, Mom. The door clicked shut. My smile died. I walked to the living room. Lifted his glass. Milk film on the rim. That same sticky perfume clinging to it. I hurled the tumbler into the trash. You'd be bored. Wyatt, tell me, what exactly did you hand that woman? Weekend. Eleanor arrived cradling a slow cooker of chicken broth. The moment she stepped in she seized my hands. Beaming. Lindsay. Wyatt hit the jackpot marrying you. I slid my fingers free. Offered a thin smile. Have a seat, Eleanor. She'd spent decades behind a Pentagon desk. Honeyed daggers were her specialty. She parked the broth on the table, scanned the living room, and frowned. Wyatt's slaving away, and you can't even keep the house in order. A man needs calm when he comes home. I cupped my belly and said calmly, the morning sickness has been hitting me hard lately. The doctor said I need more rest. Oh, please. Every woman goes through this. Back in my day we worked the farm while we were pregnant. Your generation is just too delicate. She lifted the lid off the soup pot. A greasy wave of chicken broth instantly filled the living room. Quick, drink it while it's hot. I went to a lot of trouble to get this old hen. It's the most nourishing thing for you. Eat more, so you can give the Vance family a big, healthy boy. I stared at the bowl of yellow broth and felt my stomach flip. Eleanor, my OB said to keep my diet light. This is too oily. Eleanor's face pulled long, her voice jumping an octave. What's that supposed to mean? I go out of my way to bring you soup and you pick at it. Lindsay, hear me. 3 generations of only sons. And this baby had better be a boy. If you can't deliver one, just wait and see what I'll do to you. Looking at her features twisted by fury, I suddenly found her ridiculous. This was Wyatt's mother, a woman who worshipped her son and treated a daughter-in-law as nothing but a uterus. I didn't argue. I just picked up my phone and called Wyatt. The instant it connected, Eleanor snatched it and wailed into the receiver. Son, come home. Your wife's turning the house upside down. I brought her soup and she threw it back at me. She doesn't want to give you children. From the other end, Wyatt sounded exasperated. Mom, stop it. Lindsay's having a rough pregnancy. Can't you cut her some slack? I've done nothing but give in. She's humiliating me. Your wife has no manners at all. What did we do to deserve? I quietly ended the call. Enough. I'd seen enough of this farce. I stood. Eleanor, if you think I can't take care of Wyatt properly, you're welcome to move in. Or you can take the broth home. I really can't stomach it. My calm pushed her over the edge. She jabbed a finger at my nose and screamed. You barren woman. Talking to me like that. When Wyatt gets back, I'll make him divorce you. I ignored her, walked straight into the bedroom, and locked the door. Outside, her curses turned hysterical. I leaned against the door and slid slowly to the floor. The sunlight outside the window was blinding, but my world felt pitch black. Divorce me. Fine, but not yet. I needed to know who this woman named Chloe really was. I couldn't use Pentagon channels. Any search would leave footprints. I turned to Jordan, my best comrade and the friend who knew me best. We met at an unremarkable coffee shop in Fayetteville. I laid it out, omitting every classified detail. I think my husband's cheating. Her name's Chloe. I need everything on her. Jordan's eyes were full of heartache. She asked nothing. She just squeezed my hand. Leave it to me. 3 days later, Jordan slid a manila envelope across the table. Chloe Clark, 24, assistant at a Washington, D.C. gallery. Simple social circle. Parents are factory workers in Ohio. She has an older brother, Jason Clark, who left the country 5 years ago and now works for an offshore investment outfit in Switzerland. Rarely comes back. Jordan tapped the photo. The girl in it looked pure and harmless. Dimples flashing, the kind that sparks every man's protective instinct. I pulled her credit history. Her spending is way past her paycheck. She owns a luxury condo in Arlington and a Porsche. I can't trace the money. Jordan locked eyes with me. Lindsay, this may be bigger than a fling. Chloe isn't some ordinary mistress. I pinched the photo until my knuckles went white. A classic spider, hooks men with admiration and vulnerability. Wyatt, golden boy, promoted young, his ego needs worship, not a partner who can match him stride for stride. I'm too strong, too self-reliant. I can't give him that constant rush of being needed. Chloe fills that gap perfectly. There's more, Jordan said, pulling me back. I got someone to recover deleted texts from Wyatt's phone, mostly X-rated chat, but one message is off. She pushed a printed sheet toward me. A WhatsApp from Chloe to Wyatt. Project Phoenix. My pupils slammed shut. That was the code name for the ultra-classified drone AI program Wyatt's division is racing to finish. No more than 5 people are supposed to know it exists. I shot to my feet, the chair screeching across the tiles. I'm done. In that instant, every drop of blood in my body flooded my head. This wasn't a simple leak. It was treason. Wyatt, my husband, the father of my child, he actually. Jordan grabbed my arm. Lindsay, get a grip. I clutched her arm so hard my nails nearly broke her skin. Jordan, I need your help. Help me. Nail him to the wall. My voice trembled, but my eyes were ice. From this moment on, he was no longer my husband. He was an enemy of the state. I started setting the trap. I needed evidence he couldn't talk his way out of. Proof that would rip them out by the roots. Using my clearance, I requisitioned an internal forensic keylogger and installed it on our home computer. The program recorded every keystroke and couldn't be erased by normal means. Then, casually, I complained in front of Wyatt that the Pentagon was forcing us to cram for some stupid security awareness contest. So many documents to memorize. What a pain. I also accidentally opened an encrypted folder where he could see internal files. The folder was titled Project Phoenix Bottleneck Seminar Minutes, Draft. Of course, it was empty, but the bait was set. The instant I opened that folder, Wyatt's eyes flashed. He'd taken it. For days he was unusually attentive. Massages, bad jokes, even chicken broth he simmered himself. Watching that false concern made me sick. You want to be a hero? I'll give you the stage. Friday night, I blamed morning sickness and went to bed early. Just after midnight, the faint clack of keys drifted in from the living room. Here we go. I lay motionless in the dark, counting every click. 1, 2, each like a hammer blow to my heart. I could picture his face right then, equal parts nerves, and the thrill of bragging to his mistress. He thought he was invisible. He had no idea every stroke was being archived. He opened the encrypted folder, found it empty, must have been disappointed. Still, he didn't quit. He combed through my files, my duty logs, study notes, even my WhatsApp thread with Jordan. Like a burglar racing through a cage I built just for him, desperate for anything that proved his worth. At last, he spotted the decoy I'd salted in, a fabricated, technical spec sheet. The numbers were half real, half fantasy, convincing, but deploy them and the entire system would crash. A soft, relieved sigh floated through the dark. Then the unmistakable whoosh of a sent file. When I heard it, something inside me died. Wyatt. Game over. The next morning I didn't head to the Pentagon. I drove to Fort Bragg and straight into the general's office. General Vance, 4-star, a career army man forged in combat, was reviewing deployment reports. Surprised, he looked up. Lindsay, what brings you here so early? You feeling okay? I set a flash drive on his mahogany desk. Dad, please watch this first. He gave me a puzzled glance, then plugged it in. Inside was everything I'd collated. Wyatt's chats with Chloe, their Venmo transfers, last night's screen capture of him stealing and transmitting the fake specs. Only the mouse clicked in the hush of the room. The general's face slid from puzzled to stunned to ashen, ending in an exhausted gray. Veins bulged on the hand clamping the mouse. It shook violently. He raised his head, lips moving, but no sound came. The same eyes that once reviewed divisions on the parade ground now looked clouded and lost. Dad, I said, voice flat, Wyatt's conduct meets the statutory definition of treason. I'm not here as your daughter-in-law. I'm here in uniform, reporting a breach. I'm asking you to sacrifice family for country. Smack. He slammed the desk. The pen jar jumped. That animal. He shot up so fast he swayed. I steadied him at once. His hand was ice. Dad, take care of yourself. He shoved my arm away. Bloodshot eyes drilling into me. Lindsay, this is a family disgrace. Can we? I met his gaze and spoke one measured word at a time. Dad, this isn't a family disgrace. It's a national disgrace. If we let Wyatt walk today, tomorrow there'll be 1,000 Wyatts. Then who will defend the ground we stand on? My words sank into him like a blade. He collapsed back into the chair as though the years had suddenly added a decade to his bones. He stared out at the sprawling oak, its branches in full summer leaf, for a long, long time. So long I thought he would never speak again. Then he lifted the red secure phone from the desk and dialed. His voice came out hoarse, yet perfectly clear. Department of Defense. This is General Vance. I'm reporting my son, Major Wyatt Vance, for suspected treason. Wyatt was taken from the house. It was a Saturday. He had just driven me home from the prenatal checkup in Raleigh, humming with good cheer. The doctor says the baby's perfect. You're my hero, babe. He reached to wrap his arms around me. I stepped aside. The smile froze on his face. The doorbell rang. Wyatt opened it to 4 stone-faced men in Army CID uniforms. The first held up his badge. Major Vance, Criminal Investigation Division. You're under arrest for the unauthorized disclosure of classified material. Come with us. The color drained from his cheeks. He spun toward me, panic and bewilderment swirling in his eyes. Lindsay, what's going on? There must be a mistake. I didn't look at him. I sat quietly on the couch, one hand resting on the swell of my belly. Eleanor burst from the hallway, took one look, and launched into a frenzy. Who do you think you are? Let go of my son. He's a patriot. A prodigy? You've got the wrong man. She lunged, nails out, and had to be blocked by an officer. Mom, Wyatt shouted. Stop. He turned back, approaching me step by pleading step. Honey, tell them, this is all a misunderstanding, right? I lifted my gaze at last. Wyatt, I said evenly, there's no mistake. I turned you in. He jerked backward as if struck by lightning, disbelief burning in his eyes. You, what? I said. I enunciated every syllable. I am the one who put you here. Eleanor shrieked and flew at me. Viper. Jinx. I always knew you'd ruin him. Why destroy my boy? I didn't flinch. The slap never landed. 2 CID agents pinned Wyatt's arms. He kept his bloodshot stare fixed on me, quivering with rage. Why? He bellowed. Lindsay. We're married. Married? A laugh tore from my throat while tears streamed down. When you handed the Project Phoenix blueprints to your girlfriend for applause, did our vows cross your mind? When you turned national security into your party trick, did you remember the uniform you wear? I didn't, he protested. It was harmless talk. I swear. Harmless? I rose, walked up, and faced him. You treated the clearance manual like scratch paper and your oath like trash. Wyatt, that uniform doesn't deserve you. My voice stayed low, but every word hammered home. He stood hollowed out, color gone. Eleanor kept wailing curses. Harlot, you seduced him and then this. I'll kill you. I walked past them into the bedroom and shut the door. Outside, Wyatt's howls and Eleanor's shrieks faded until silence took over. I leaned against the door, covered my face, and wept. Little one, don't be afraid. Mommy is just ending a very bad decision. After Wyatt was removed, the Vance household spiraled into chaos. Eleanor showed up daily to wail on my porch, branding me an ungrateful viper who'd wrecked the family. Neighbors on the base whispered whenever I passed. past. I became the cold-blooded wife who jailed her husband. I offered no explanations. The truth defends itself. I filed the divorce papers and a transfer request at the Pentagon. I had to escape that suffocating air. General Vance came once. He looked ancient, hair suddenly steel gray. He laid a folder between us. Lindsay, the divorce is signed by that bastard son of mine. The Vance family owes you. Keep the townhouse in Arlington and the $5 million in this account. I slid the folder back. Dad, the house belongs to the military. I'm not entitled. And I don't want money. I have one request only. Name it. When the baby's born, I want him to stay with the Vance family. General's head snapped up, eyes wide. You're giving up your child? An invisible fist clenched my heart, robbing me of breath. How could I ever give up my child? He's the flesh that fell from my own body. But I'm about to transfer to Fort Hood, a post that's even more dangerous, more grueling. I can't give him a stable childhood. Besides, he carries the Vance family blood. I can't be that selfish. If he stays with me, he'll suffer. I lowered my eyes so he wouldn't see the tears in them. You and Eleanor, you'll take better care of him than I ever could. The general stayed silent. He stared at my noticeably rounded belly, his gaze unreadable. Lindsay, you're a good kid. A good soldier. He stood up and gave me a crisp salute. I straightened my spine and returned it. The tears broke loose the instant I turned away. 1 month later, Wyatt's case went to trial. Because it involved classified material, the hearing was held in secret at the Pentagon. Chloe and her brother Jason, key operatives in an overseas spy ring, were netted in one sweep. Wyatt had handed over the critical tech parameters I doctored, sabotaging their operation so completely that the court ruled he'd made a major contribution to national security. In the end, he got 10 years at Fort Leavenworth. 10 years for a once golden major. That fate was worse than death. I visited him once. We were separated by a thick pane of glass at the prison visitor center, and I stared at him. He wore a prison jumpsuit, his hair shaved to the scalp, his body gaunt, the old spark gone from his eyes. When he saw me, he lunged at the glass. Lindsay, you came. You forgive me, right? You're here to take me home? I looked at him, calm. I came to tell you we're divorced. The hope on his face froze. No, impossible. Lindsay, you're lying. Right. You still love me. You're just mad. I don't love you anymore. I met his eyes. Each word a hammer. From the moment you chose betrayal, you stopped being my husband. You became my enemy. I didn't betray. He slammed his palms against the glass. I only made the mistake every man makes. I love you. I just lost my head for a second. Lost your head? I gave a cold laugh. Wyatt, you still don't get it. Your crime wasn't cheating. It was your pathetic ego. You trampled national dignity and security just to bask in some woman's admiration. A man like you doesn't deserve to speak of love. My words were blades driving into his heart. He slid to the floor, hollow-eyed, leaning against the glass. Lindsay, I was wrong, really wrong. Give me one more chance. When I get out, I'll make it up to you and the baby. There are no more chances. I stood and gave him one last look. Wyatt, serve your time. It's what you owe this country. I walked away without a backward glance. Behind me, his desperate sobs echoed. I never turned around. Some roads, once taken, can never be retraced. 6 months later, at my new post at Fort Hood, I received a letter from Jordan. Wyatt had killed himself in prison. He left a suicide note addressed to me. I didn't read it. I burned the letter and the note together. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Between us, the ledger was closed. The baby was a boy. I named him Peace, Ansel, meaning he's safe. I wish him a life of safety. I never went to see him. I was afraid that if I did, I wouldn't be able to leave. The general still mails me photos of Ansel now and then. The chubby little guy in the pictures grins ear to ear. His eyes hold traces of me, and of Wyatt. Each photo gives my heart a twist. But I have never regretted. To love the nation, I had to abandon my home. I swore that oath the day I first put on this uniform. I threw myself into work, training, missions, study, spinning like a wound up top, never tiring. 3 years later, my record earned me an early promotion to captain. On the day of the ceremony, the sun blazed overhead. I stood at the head of the formation, watching the American flag snap in the wind, fire blazing in my chest. I knew I had chosen the harder road, but also the proudest. I lost my small family, yet I guarded my country. I lost my love, yet I defended my faith. I carry the flag in my heart. It weighs more than love, more than life. My name is Lindsay Vance, an ordinary American woman, a U.S. Army officer. Thanks for listening to the story. If you liked it, please hit like and share it with friends. We look forward to seeing your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories. See you next time.